guys know that Josephine Baker was the richest black woman in the world? Fun fact. Did you guys know that Black America used to be called Turtle Island?
You want to hear a story? I read a story. I know a story. I got a story for you. So what you gotta do? Without, the night was. Hey, what up, Vibe Tribe? Welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl, Lovely Vibes, and thank you guys for tuning in and spending time with me. If you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Stick around with me, you guys. Talk with me. As well as hit the like button so we can get those likes up. And hit the notification bell so you'll know every time that I post when I come up with a new story to share with you guys. And we can exchange information. And be sure to leave comments, you guys. Keep it respectful in the comment section, but please keep it real. All right. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back, you guys. I love you guys. Thank you for sticking it out with me, for vibing with me. Thank you for going on this journey with me. I really appreciate you guys. Seriously, I really appreciate you guys. Have plenty plans in store for my loyal subscribers. I have so much planned for you guys. So make sure you guys stay tuned. And if you haven't hit that notification bell, make sure you hit that as well. So you'll know when I post and I'm doing the most. You know what I mean? But okay, you guys. So today we're going to get into a story. You guys know what I do. I read short stories and then I come and share them with you. So today we're going to do a story about a book called, well, not a book, a story called A Story. That's the name. I'm not even joking. The name of the story is called A Story. All right. So this was written by Hans Christian Andersen back in 1872. Ooh, excuse me. All right. So this story, it's a beautiful story. It's a pretty short story, you guys. So, and this story is a beautiful day. It's beautiful outside. It's Sunday. The sun is shining. The birds are chirping, and the day is so beautiful that it's as if the feeling of it, God is like, y'all know y'all special. I take care of all of my creations. I got you, you know. So it's that beautiful outside. Everybody's feeling harmonious with, oh, life is great. So they go into church, right? They go to church, and they in the church, and here comes the pastor. So the pastor he's out, and the first thing the pastor starts talking about is hell, and how so many people is going to hell, and how is so many bad people in the world, and how all those bad people going to hell, but how there's any good people, and how it's just gonna be so many people in hell. Everybody is so just dang near everybody going to hell, right? So he's talking about this. He's scaring the crap out of the congregation. The congregation's like, because remember, it was just beautiful outside. So he's scaring them with how people act, and basically there's no way to escape it. You're just going to hell. The way he explaining it is just like, you might as well just be bad, you know. So he's angrily speaking this in the pulpit. So people leave church, and obviously like, oh my gosh, when they leave church, you know. And it's still beautiful outside, as if outside, like I said, it's once again saying, hey, God, the birds are singing, the day is beautiful. It's just beautiful outside. But now people's feelings have changed a little bit, because the atmosphere has changed a little bit because of the pastor with this hell story and how evil people are. And so he goes home, and how they'll be in this lake of fire for eternity. Let me finish this off. They'll be in this lake of fire for eternity, and they'll keep sinking with no way out of this fire. And like, he was being very descriptive. He was being very descriptive of hell and how everybody's going to go there. So when he goes home, he's at home with his wife and everything, and he's about to retire to go to sleep. And then he's looking at his wife, but she's acting a little strange. She's not acting like normal, you know. She just looked like she's stuck in thought. So he finally asked her, what's wrong with you, you know? And she was like, what's wrong with me is the things that you were saying today, you know. Like, how can you say... She was like, how can anyone be condemned to hell or go to hell forever? And how could the Lord not have no mercy? Like, we all his creation. Like, how could, she was like, I'm just a regular human, and I don't even want the worst person I know to suffer for eternity like that. So why would God do that to us? You know, so she's just baffled about it. So he's like, whatever. They go to sleep because he's like, believes in what he believes in. So when the pastor awakes, he is at the side of he's by somebody. He's by somebody's side, and they're dying. They're gone. They're not there anymore. And this person is his wife. Dead and gone. I know, right? And so he's sad. And he's like, oh no, like, surely your soul will find its way to peace because you were such a pious woman. She was very religious and she was a very featured person. So he felt like you're gonna go to heaven. He's sad about her being gone, but he's crying as they put her in the ground. And it's like this personality in his body, this persona is completely gone. That's how he feels. He's like, man. So he goes to sleep that night, and when he goes to sleep, he feels like there's some light shining on him. And the light when he wakes up is a being standing over him. So it's like the moonlight and the being. So it's like the moonlight and the being is standing over him, and he's like, when he look at the being, he's like a little taken aback, but then he's like, it's his wife. It's a ghostly figure of his wife or whatever, and she's just staring at him. So he's like, oh no, not even you. So he's upset. He's like, not even you can find peace in death, like, oh my gosh, like, basically he's feeling like, if you can't make it to heaven, who can? So, and she's just looking at him as if she wants to say something. And then he was like, is there not anything I can do to help you? So then she nods her head yes. And what she can do, then he's like, what can I do? What can I do to help you? And she's like, if you go and get me the hair of one sinner, of the one sinner just a hair of one sinner who's going to suffer for eternity in hell, and bring it to me before the cock crows, that will help me. So he's like, I could surely do that, because to him, there's so many evil people in the world. He's like, I could save her, I could do that. So he's like, okay. So she's like, okay, stick with me. We can go anywhere at the thought. We can go anywhere, So boom, they go and they appear in front of like this doorman is standing in front of a door, good-hearted, good village or close to this home in the street or something. So it's a doorman at the door of this party, and it's like a prestige party, and that everybody that's at this party, and the doorman is looking down on the people passing by and everybody who can't get into this party, and he's thinking to himself like, oh yeah, we the stuff, they can't even compare our party to kings and queens, and he was feeling himself, and he just was thinking how low of the people that was outside. So that's when the pastor is like, he's not going to go to hell. He's just an idiot. He's just stupid. And that's some fool stuff. So it sounded through the halls or whatever that this place is filled with fools. So he's like, he's not going to go to hell. It's just a place filled with fools. So in the blink of an eye, they end up in a room with the old man who is on a raggedy couch. And he's on the couch, anxious person on the couch, and he gets up, and they're watching him when he gets up. Now they're invisible. They can't be seen because of course he's traveling with the Scrooge entity. I don't know, with the Scrooge ghost. This is like a Scrooge story, but so he's traveling with her, so he can't be seen. So this old man is on his raggedy couch. He gets up and he goes to his a jacket hanging on the wall with some gold coins in his hand. So he's checking the jacket. Along the jacket is just gold coins going down the jacket. Gold coins are stitched in this jacket, and he just got all his wealth in his jacket, and he's putting more coins in. So the pastor was like, that's a sickness. That's sick. So he's saying that the guy got a sickness, like he's just collecting stuff like he a ferret or something. I guess that's how he's thinking. But he felt the man was sick to be doing that. And like he just felt like the man needed help, but this is a poor man. So before he can even finish his sentence, they zap somewhere else, and when they end up somewhere else, this has they're at like a prison. They're inside of a prison, and one of the prisoners One is snoring, and another one of the prisoners, he punches him, or elbows the guy in his side because he's snoring so loud. And then he starts talking to other inmates, and he's like, every night I gotta deal with this. She snores all the time. I can't barely get any sleep. I can't barely get sleep all the time, even before with everything that has happened with his crime. He haven't been able to get sleep from his crime. So he was, after he hit the guy or whatever, and they was explaining, they like, every night, and he's like, yes, every night. So then he starts talking about his case and how he not really guilty. He just a product of his environment and his anger issues. He just really mad and was mad. He wasn't trying to do what had happened, and how he struck a match walking towards his master's house. He struck a match on the side of it, and he guessed that it caught on the roof when he threw it. So that's how the roof had caught. So then everything caught fire. So he was like, well, no, nothing alive died. Well, except for some pigeons that flew through the fire and the dog that I had forgot about. And I'm just like, then something did die. Not somebody, but something died. Like a few things died. And he just talking like, well, ain't nothing died. And then he explains how this dog will not let him rest because he was like he can't forget the screams of this dog, and even when he finally fall asleep, how this dog ends up on his chest and making a sound just on his chest, So he's hunted by this dog. So he's just really upset and got this anger problem. So he turns over onto his bunkie, and he just gets on top of him and starts punching him in the face. He just beating him up, punching him in the face. So the other inmates are like, oh, he went crazy again. So they all start fighting him, getting him up off of him, and to the point where they twisted him to where blood was coming out of his eyes and ears, and they twisted him upside down in a way. And so the pastor screams out, you're killing the poor man. Remember, nobody could see them, right? Nobody could see him. So as soon as he screams, you're killing the poor man, they zap somewhere else. So now they're in the hallway. They're saying all of these things like selfishness and lover of yourselves. Basically it was just saying like 7 deadly sins, or a couple of sins that was very that were just wrong. It was a sin. So while they're going through this hallway, he sees some angels, I guess, or angels or they are being the mediator for the human soul that is coming up to be judged. So as he's watching this, and these people are being judged by God, he is like, I am not going to dare take a hair off nobody's head. Like, we in the presence of God, and he's judging them. The angel's not even really speaking for the people because, of course, God knows his creation. So he knows us in and out. So we don't really need angels to speak for us, So this man, he's like really broken up about the fact that he's watching these people be judged, and the stories that he just floated around and saw himself, and finally started realizing within himself, like, who am I to judge people now that he's in the presence of the Lord, and the Lord is doing his job. When the souls come home, the Lord is doing his job. So who was this guy to be sitting up there? You're all going to hell up in this church. Like, God gave you a gift, and not to scare people with, So anyway, the man, he's sad, and then all of a sudden the crow, what did he say? The cock. So all of a sudden the cock crows, right? So now it's too late. He can't get the hair in to save his wife's poor soul. He can't do anything. So he starts pleading with God. He's crying. He's like, oh, is there anything I could do for this poor, pious woman? Like, for my wife? Like, he's basically trying to get her into heaven, and he's like, I couldn't get this hair, and is there anything I can do so she'll be all right? And then the spirit speaks. She said, I'm fine now. I'm like, what? She fine now? What? She just started speaking. She told him, I'm fine now. It is you. So he's looking like, oh, like, and all of a sudden he feels a kiss on his cheek, and he feels like sun rays again. So when he opens his eyes, it's his wife. His wife's giving him a kiss on his cheek, and the sun is out. And he's just basically had a dream that God sent to him, right? So he had that dream, and he learned his lesson. That's the end of the story, that, by the way, that his wife kisses him and tells him she loves him, and he wakes up to her being alive. But anyway, so scaring them and telling them they're going to hell and everything from the very beginning. I was like, who is this dude? How is he judging people like this? Or like, it's a way to tell people when you're telling them the way that you're telling, and then you're going too far. Like, I would have straight up asked him, are you even studying your stuff, man, before you come? Because some pastors, you can tell they ain't studying. They just probably, I'm gonna read about this today. Anyways, this guy learned, the moral of this story is, don't judge people. Like, you're not God, period. You're not God. You can't judge people. I mean, it's one thing to judge your circle, like your atmosphere, to keep yourself, your peace protected, and keep others around you, like-minded people or whatever, not have, I guess, be a group of serial killers. Like, oh, we all friends, serial killer friends, like those are the type of groups you want to stay away from. You want to stay away from that. So, yeah, the moral of this story to me is you don't judge others, okay? Especially it taking him behind the scenes to see like the poor man putting all the money in his jacket, the guy in the prison, and his so-called misfortune of accidentally setting his master's house on fire, So he got to see the ins and outs, the behind closed doors, and then see as well them get judged. So yeah, I really like this story, you guys. I liked it a lot. How about you hop in the comment section and we talk about it? Tell me, what was your favorite part? What would you have done if you was one of the people in the congregation of this church and he was speaking like this? Would you return? No. What would you do if you was the pastor and you were taken around by this Scrooge ghost to see what was going on? And what would you do if you were his wife before him having that dream, So, yeah, let's talk about it in the comment section, you guys, because I think this was a cute story, and it was short, fun, and simple. But, yeah, go ahead. Let's talk about it. Remember, it's called A Story. It's on the public domain, and you can look it up, written by Hans Christian Andersen, okay? Back in 1872. So you can look up A Story. But, yes, you guys, let me know what you thought of this story, and how did it make you feel? I know for me, because I read this a bit earlier, I already wasn't judgmental, but for my circle, yeah, like I explained with that, I will try to keep myself safe, my peace and my spirit safe, But yeah, this story touched me in a way where I'm just like even more like calm down on judgment, period. It makes me think about the Lord sitting at the table with sinners, So it makes me think about a lot, you guys. So yeah, let's get to it. Let's hop in the comment section and talk about it. What was your favorite part of the story? What did you like? What would you like to hear next? And I would ask who was your favorite character, but it's not really too many characters in this story. So, but anyway, hop in that comment section, you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button as well as subscribe. And as usual, everybody have a beautiful, wonderful, vibracious day. Everybody, hope to see you guys next week. See you soon. Thank you for spending time with me and tuning in to my channel, you guys. I'm your girl, Love and Vibes. And remember, love, peace, and vibes. I'm out.